Do you know what screams direct-to-home video release? A sequel with an entirely different cast to the first one and a really cheesy subtitle, such as Haunted Halloween. Yeah, I wasn't really excited for this one, to tell you the truth.
Put the bunny back in the box.
Starring amongst others Wendy McLendon-Covey, Madison Eisman, Jeremy Ray Taylor, Khalil Harris, Chris Parnell and Ken Jeong, directed by Ari Sandel, off of a screenplay by Rob Lieber. This is my review for Goosebumps 2 Haunted Halloween. So, Goosebumps 2, the plot for this one basically boils down to two kids find R.L. Stine's house, they go inside, they find Slappy the doll, they take Slappy with them, and then chaos ensues. That's the plot of this movie in a nutshell. And with the first one, I didn't think it was a particularly great film, but I quite liked it. I quite liked certain aspects of it, because the cast were really good. I think it was a strong cast. And the story was fun, like it was. And don't get me wrong, this one has some fun elements to it as well, but it certainly feels like a step down from the first, for a number of reasons. One, like I mentioned, the cast is completely different. I mean, the trailers did reveal we do get Jack Black in this one, but barely, to be honest. And it's probably a wise move. They did show that he's still in it. But yeah, don't expect much Jack Black from this one. He did pretty much a cameo, to be honest with you. The budget for this one was slashed as well. I mean, I'm not sure what kind of numbers the first one did, but it couldn't have been that good if this one got a reduced budget. And even though there were 3 years between the first one and this one, this feels like a bit of a hastily put together sequel. It doesn't feel like it's that coherent. It doesn't feel anywhere near as polished as the first one did. And I don't think the first one was the most polished film of the year by any means. And I think the problem with Goosebumps 2 Haunted Halloween, the main one, that didn't take me that long to figure out, is that this moves so quickly. Like, the things escalate in this film to the point where you kind of get a little bit of whiplash, because it's not a long film. It's like 90 minutes. But so much happens in that 90 minutes. But it just feels like a race to the finish line. It doesn't feel like things naturally build up to that point. And I'm going to try and avoid spoilers for the most part, but if you've seen the trailers, like, you get what happens in this. But essentially, when they get Slappy, like, there's a few minutes really of them kind of getting along with Slappy before things change, and the next thing you know, chaos is everywhere. Like, it literally is that quick. Which is a shame, because there's certain aspects of what they were trying to do with the character of Slappy here that were quite interesting. Like, there were layers there to Slappy, as weird as that sounds. It's a doll. But yeah, there were certain layers to the character that felt like it could have been explored a little bit more, but it's not. Because of how quickly this one moves to Slappy hanging out with the kids to Slappy trying to kill everybody, it makes it really difficult to invest in that story. And because so much is going on, it makes it very difficult to invest in any of the characters as well. And I kind of feel a little bit bad that none of these characters really work, because the performances from everybody are fine. Like, nobody really does anything wrong performance-wise in this one. Everybody kind of does what they need to do, and they're a good cast. Like, I enjoy the kids in this one. The mother characters, a great deal of fun. So, yeah, I mean, they all kind of work in their own way, but they don't work in this story, because, I mean, who are these people, really? We get little moments of them, like the daughter's trying to get into college. Like, we get moments like that. But I never felt that we got to know who these people actually were. One character that didn't particularly work for me is Ken Jeong's character, because he's essentially doing what Ken Jeong always does. But there didn't seem any need for him to be in this one at all, really. There was enough going on in this short movie as it is. To kind of have him thrown in, well, it literally felt like he was thrown in. He didn't really service the plot in any way. He was just there to say the odd funny thing here and there. The comedy didn't really work for that character. And I do like Ken Jeong. I enjoyed him in Crazy Rich Asians. I liked him in the first Hangover. He started to grate on me after that. Community, he's brilliant in. But here, he just didn't really feel like he served a purpose other than just an adult there to make funny quips every now and then that weren't all that funny, to be honest. So it's not really his fault that his character doesn't work. He just wasn't really given anything to make him work. Like, the script didn't do him any favours whatsoever in this one. So it feels like I'm being quite negative on it, and I didn't love this movie at all, but it had some fun elements to it. Sort of when things did go crazy, even if I wasn't invested in the story, there were still some fun things to look at. I enjoyed a lot of the effects, although you could tell the budget wasn't quite what it was in the first one. Some of the shots don't work quite as well, but there are elements that do. There are elements of fun here. Like, I enjoyed a lot of watching this town go to hell, almost literally, to a degree, with all of these different monsters and things coming at them. Like, it was quite inventive, in a way, in certain areas, so I did appreciate that. This isn't, as I say, it's not a bad movie, it's just one that's definitely a few steps down from the first one. I just wish the script had been a little bit better for it. I wish we hadn't had, for example, Ken Jeong's character could have been taken out of this completely, and more time could have been given to get to know the actual main players. But yeah, we weren't given that. It would have been nice if it could have been a little bit longer, just a little bit, so we could have time to breathe, so we could really have explored that relationship between the kids and Slappy before it just escalated and became mortal enemies. Because, as I say, there were interesting elements to that early on, but it was very much brushed over in the case of let's just get to the action instead. Which, yeah, a little bit of a shame, but this is certainly a movie that I can imagine kids enjoying. It's just the first one did have elements of it that appealed to adults as well, and this does have a few of them. Like, there are a few moments in there, but nowhere near the same level. So yeah, much more of a kids movie than a family movie, I think. I'm going to give Goosebumps 2 a 5 out of 10. Now, have you seen Goosebumps 2? If so, let me know what you think about it in the comments below. And what's your favourite Goosebumps book as well? Let's talk Goosebumps. I mean, 'tis the season. Look out for a review for Halloween coming up soon, which is definitely a movie that's not a family film at all, or for kids. Do hit like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more of them. You can also follow me on Twitter as well, at Joe Julians. Just talk to me, because I like talking to people about nerdy, geeky TV film stuff. Just what I do. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.